Hello and welcome. Today, we're going to unlock something truly special, India's Library of Cures. Now, this isn't some dusty old building. It's a massive, living collection of traditional medical knowledge that's just as relevant today as it was thousands of years ago. And you'll see, this isn't just about history. It's really about the future of medicine. So let me start by asking a question. What if the answer to some of tomorrow's biggest health challenges isn't hiding in a high-tech lab, but is actually tucked away in the ancient wisdom of forests and villages? It's a huge question, and as we're about to find out, it's one that really affects all of us.
All right, let's dive right in. To really get a handle on this living library, we first have to understand the science that studies this deep, incredible relationship between people and plants. And that key, the field that unlocks all of this, is called ethnobotany. Now, this isn't just about making a list of plants, not at all. It's the scientific study of the entire relationship between us and them. For medicine, sure, but also for food, shelter, even our spiritual beliefs. It's really where biology and culture completely intertwine.
And this quote just perfectly captures the urgency of it all. See, this knowledge isn't usually written down in books. It's held in the minds of elders and healers. It truly is a living, breathing library. And when a generation passes on, we risk losing entire volumes of wisdom forever. It's like a library burning to the ground. So, while the actual term ethnobotany might be pretty modern, the practice itself, it's ancient. And you'd be hard-pressed to find a place where this legacy runs deeper than in India, which has been a hub for this science for literally millennia. I mean, just look at this timeline. It really puts things into perspective, right? We can trace this knowledge back thousands and thousands of years. The Vedas, some of the oldest texts on Earth, were already documenting medicinal plants. Then by 2500 BC, you get Ayurveda, this whole science of life. Fast forward to 500 BC, and you have texts detailing incredibly complex surgeries, all based on plants. So yeah, the name ethnobotany only showed up in 1895, but the science itself, it's as old as civilization here. And what's so incredible is that we're not just talking about one single system. India is this amazing mosaic of medical traditions. You've got Ayurveda, which many people have heard of, but there's also the Siddha system from the south, Unani, which has Greco-Arab roots, and the Amchi system way up in the Himalayas. But the bedrock, the foundation for all of them, is folk medicine, that huge, unwritten library of knowledge passed down from one person to the next, generation after generation. Okay, so we've got this incredible, deep history. But what does it all mean for people right now, today? Well, the impact is enormous, not just for our health, but for economies too. Just let this number sink in for a second. According to the World Health Organization, a mind-boggling 80% of the world's population relies on traditional plant-based medicines for their primary health care. This is not some niche alternative thing. For billions of people, this is medicine. And because of that, it's also a massive business. The global trade in medicinal plants and all the products made from them is worth over $100 billion US. And that number is just getting bigger every year. Now, if we zoom back into India, studies show that tribal communities by themselves use over 9,500 different species of wild plants. And this isn't just for medicine. We're talking about food, fiber for making clothes and rope, dyes, you name it. It's the absolute foundation of daily life. And this knowledge gets super specific, branching out into all these fascinating fields. You've got ethnodermatology, which is all about using plants to treat skin conditions. Then there's ethnoveterinary medicine, a huge deal, using plants to keep livestock healthy, which is absolutely vital for rural economies. And even ethnogastrology, which studies how cultures use plants for food, especially during a famine, which can literally be the key to survival. And this is the crucial turning point. This entire system, this whole living library of knowledge and the plants it depends on, is facing two gigantic threats. We are, without a doubt, in a race against time. The first threat is that we're losing the knowledge itself. Study after study finds what they call a profound and growing knowledge gap between the older generations and the younger ones. As traditional ways of life change and that verbal handoff from parent to child stops happening, we run the very real risk of this entire library of information just blinking out of existence.
And at the exact same time, we're facing a second crisis. It's not just the knowledge that's disappearing, it's the actual plants. The books in our living library are literally being destroyed.
So here's the problem. The vast majority of these plants are still gathered from the wild. They're not farmed.
This has led to massive overharvesting and a serious loss of biodiversity. Things have gotten so critical, the Indian government actually had to ban the export of 29 endangered species just to protect them. And maybe the most shocking fact of all is that scientists figure we've only examined less than 5% of tropical plants for their medicinal value. We are losing cures before we even know they exist. Okay, so the situation is definitely urgent, but the good news is it's not hopeless. There is a clear path forward. The focus now is on how we can save this living library for everyone, for all the generations to come. And really, it all boils down to these three critical steps. We have to document the knowledge that's left, educate the next generation, and conserve the plants themselves. So let's see how this is actually being done. First, to document, India has created something called the Traditional Knowledge Digital Library. It's this massive database that records ancient remedies. This is so cool because it prevents companies from patenting ancient knowledge as some new invention, a shady practice called biopiracy. Next, to educate, schools are introducing herbal gardens to reconnect kids with their heritage. And finally, to conserve, the big push is for sustainable, large-scale farming of these plants. That takes the pressure off the ones growing in the wild. Which brings us right back to where we started. By preserving this ancient living knowledge, we're doing so much more than just honoring the past. We're making a critical investment in the future. You know, the next big breakthrough drug, the next revolutionary treatment, it could be waiting right there in a traditional remedy that we make the choice to save today. That link between yesterday's wisdom and tomorrow's cures has never been clearer.